Hey guys, I'm back, and I'm literally freezing. It is 25 degrees out here. It's icy and it's snowy, as you can see. But I have a video project I'm pretty excited about, because this is a knife that not only is not out there for you to buy yet, they haven't even started the marketing or the availability of it. So this is, you can see, from a company called Hydra. These guys, I can't even get, it's windy, it's cold, this is the outdoors. Here we are. Sorry. But this is exactly the environment this is intended to be used in. So, Hydra is a Spanish company. These guys are located in Spain. They are introducing this knife on Kickstarter, and they contacted me and asked if I wanted to see some, these aren't pre-production, these are what you're going to get when they start the campaign. So, not pre-production in terms of a design before they're ready for the real final design, but these are going to be the main production run. These are just some of their pre-big production run samples that they had made to make sure that everything is the way they want it and everything. This whole Kickstarter campaign is going to kick off in February. I was lucky enough for them to part with 2 of their sample pieces for me to take a look at, to review, to do some real testing with on this channel, to show you guys before it actually hits the Kickstarter page and everything, and you know, we can see what we get. So they sent me, not only did they say like, hey, take a look at our knives, they sent me this entire informational packet on how it was all designed, on everything it comes with, everything it does. So real professional operation here. These guys are really serious. Got a nice little lightweight Hydra hat. I got all the information. I got the 2 knives. Jorge, the guy in charge, I guess, has been in communication with me all about the rollout date and a lot of cool info relating to them. So Buzzards is the name of the knife. I've got my extra warm thin slate gloves on right now that we're going to take a look at. I'm probably going to have to take gloves off to get a really good close look at these, but we'll try them gloved as well, seeing how they're good outdoor knives. They come as neck knives, but they've got some cool utility in them that we'll look at. I've looked through the paperwork with them, but we are unboxing them together as we go, and you can see there's some cool accessories that come with them. So I think we'll look at the black coated one just to look at the coating, but we're really going to be looking at the bare metal one, at the satin finish one, in terms of taking a look at everything. So to start off with, cool stuff in the box. Now I should mention that when the Kickstarter campaign comes out, some of the stuff that's in this box right now you get at higher levels. So I think everybody knows how Kickstarter works. If you're not familiar with it, Kickstarter is a crowdfunding platform. It lets you get in the ground floor and invest in a product or a company, and as a return on your investment, you get certain rewards. So for example, investing in this Buzzard knife, at different levels you get the knife. For investing more of an initial investment, you get more accessories that come with it. Now, that's still, I'm waiting for that exact info. I'll put that in text as they work out the final details of it, but this is kind of the whole complete package here. So let's take a look at the knife itself. So here we've got the Buzzard, and there goes the plastic bag. Connected to it is a little 1/4 inch bit holder. Now, nothing's stopping you from carrying more bits, but you have the bit holder attached because, as you see, you can put a 1/4 inch bit into the knife and use it. It's got some cutouts for some wrench sizes there. There you go, or your wrench sizes right there. Comes with a cool double tech lock installed, so this would open it, but you've got to, this is a little hard for me to do with gloves. You're going to slide that, and then you can open your tech lock. As you can see, very adjustable, okay, to position it how you want it. Of course, you can just take this whole tech lock off, and you can wear it as a neck knife. And they've included some 550 cord for you right there. Now, of course, I'll check the specs here in the paperwork they gave me. If not, I'll just measure it to tell you how much 550 cord they include for you. You can use it as a handle wrap if you want. You can use it for the neck knife if you want. Comes with this bright safety orange. And of course, you can swap that for whatever color you want. They also give you some belt loop materials, and it comes with the Allen wrench for doing the work on the pieces here for all of the connections. So you get that. Sweet. Let's just move that down there. We've got a little Hydra morale patch in there. Vinyl, I should ask where they got theirs done. It's pretty nice, actually. Hydra Knives card. I don't want to spend too much time out of my gloves. You know, the weirdest things stick with you sometimes, and one of the things that echoes in my head from survival school all the time is you put cold hands into a glove, it insulates the cold into the glove. I just remember my instructor saying that over and over. So you get the morale patch, and you get the rear side of the Velcro. So you can put that on whatever. So you get the info for the card. And now, I don't know if these are upcoming designs they have or just stock graphics. Okay, he didn't tell me about that, but there you go. Over here, we've got a ferro rod. I know that this ferro rod accessory here is for a higher pledge or investment level, so we'll look at that separately. He did tell me about that. And then over here, we've got a nice microfiber cleaning cloth. Yeah. It's a big one. Look at that. Oh. It's a big old cloth. Alright. How's your cloth back in the box. We don't want that to get all messed up out here. With the wind, it's hard to keep track of these little plastic bags. But you got a lot of options when it comes to how you want to carry this thing. Whether you want to use your tech lock, whether you want to use it as a neck knife, whether you want to put your belt loops on it, and then, of course, you can carry it vertical or horizontal, depending. This little filler right here, you can leave in place, or this can be removed, which gives you a little ring that you can put your finger in. They say it can also be used as a bottle opener. You know, I feel about bottle openers, but I'll tell you what, let's get this little tool out. I might as well just keep my gloves off at this point, but it feels so good to be in them. Plastic filler plate in there, so you've got that ring that you can use almost kind of karambit style, I guess, but again also can use as a bottle opener. Might as well just unsheath the whole thing. There we go. So not a very large piece as a fixed blade goes, but as a neck knife, it's a pretty good size. I am not a huge fan of neck knives. I don't really wear them. I don't like dangly things around my neck. I hated wearing dog tags when I had to, honestly. But for an EDC size blade, it's pretty good. You can see really nice finishing in the grind lines there. I like the markings. So we're going to talk about the steel in a minute because it's a really interesting choice for the steel. But oh, that's cold. Okay. In terms of fitting in your hand, though, putting the pinky in that little ring actually feels pretty good. Great jimping right there. Really get a nice lock on the blade and with that little choil. So even though I have the big hands, choking up a little bit for some. Now that, looking at their paperwork again, they intend that as your ferro rod nip, but you can really get fine control of the tip. You can also just use it kind of regular style, you know, as a slicer. The fact that it has that karambit type ring, but the flat, you know, nice straight blade, I feel like with my pinky in the ring, it really gives good leverage for some, not like heavy chopping, but like when you need to just give that extra push through some material or some increased leverage for chopping or weight there. It's pretty good. That jimping is very effective. It's small, but pretty good and effective. If you did find yourself needing to use this in a self-defense kind of fashion, little small on the handle, again, for my taste, but it actually does, in a reverse grip, does lock your hand right in there around your fingers and your thumb and give you a really secure grip, even if your finger's not in that little ring. So Nice design, very lightweight. And the balance is really, really good too. I imagine if you're into throwing, you could probably get a good throw out of this thing too. So now that we took a look at that, let's take a look at the coated version. You can see we've got a powder coat going on here. So I actually kind of like the way the laser markings look on the powder coated version. I like the satin finish version, but I like the way that the markings look on the coated version. So either of these will be available, you know, when it's up and running. Apologize for the wind if you're hearing a lot of wind on camera here. So let's talk about the steel that this is made of. Again, made in Spain, not China, not USA. Spanish-made steel. Well, you know, if you've seen The Princess Bride, you know that it's the finest sword making in the world. These are made in Albacete, if I'm saying that correctly. Anyway, let's talk about the steel. So, in Europe, it goes by the name of 1.4116. It also goes by the cool name X50 CR MOV 15. And not a 420, it's in the 420 family as well, but 420 MOV. It's not just crappy 420 steel. It's actually the same kind of steel that Victorinox uses on Swiss Army blades. So if you're looking for a reference as to the quality of the steel, it's good steel. It's really good steel. Now normally this kind of stuff you heat treat, and you're looking at a Rockwell hardness up, of the 55, 56, 57, somewhere in that neighborhood. But they decided to go with the cryo treatment instead. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the metallurgy of how it works, or molybdenum and chromium levels, or the conversion of austenite to martensite and all that. I mean, that's fascinating stuff to look up on. But all that stuff and how the metal is prepared, and I'm always saying that a good heat treat makes or breaks your knife. Well, a cryo treat sorts out the molecular structure a little bit differently than heat treating, and cryo treating is more complicated, a little bit more involved, has to be done a little bit different. So this steel is cryo treated, not heat treated, and that can get your Rockwell hardness up to about 60 with this type of steel. What does that mean to you guys? Absolutely nothing. You don't care. I'm just throwing that out there because it's pretty cool to me anyway. I'm making knives and working with knives. It's fascinating to me how the difference, the application of heat versus extreme cold can change the molecular structure of steel. But what it really means to you guys as end users is the wear resistance and toughness versus brittleness of your blade. So you got a really tough edge that is resistant to wear, very corrosion resistant, but not brittle. It's not prone to chipping, and you can drop it and your tip's not going to snap off and stuff like that. But don't take my word for it. Oh, we're going to test it out. Yeah, we are. All right, so this is not just dead rotted wood. It still has some substance to it, so we're going to use it. Of course, before we do that, we're going to do a standard paper and 550 cord test just to see the finish of the blade as it comes out of the package. All right, a little difficult to do these kinds of things when it's windy, but no problems. No problems at all. Very nice. And you know what? We'll also, since we've got two to test, we'll do both. Oh, this one, you know what? This one's even smoother and feels easier than the satin finish one. Good old pull through. A little bit of effort, and I'm wondering if that's just because of the size of the blade, and I'm not used to doing a blade that small. I'm going to do one more. Yeah, I mean, a little bit, not much at all. Wow, this one is, like, slight differences, and I think that attests to hand finishing. They're both great. Both, I'd say, awesome finishing. I don't even know if I got that one. Sometimes I'm looking at the knife and not the view screen, so let's make sure I get this on camera. I mean, perfect. And the blade barely moves. So awesome, awesome. All right, so both of our examples here finished phenomenally well right out of the box. I'm gonna go back to a gloved hand while we do our actual, you know, testing on wood. So with the gloved hand now, it disappears a little bit. I mean, honestly, I'm giving an honest review here. A little hard to get a good solid grip, but the shape, the contours, as long as I can get it locked into that forefinger and thumb, I feel like I've got really good control over the knife. So now remember, there's some, you know, this is still wet wood. It's not all dried out, so we're dealing with 25 degrees. The wood's a little bit frozen here. But I'm still able to get some nice fine cuts. I'm actually going to use these if the wind doesn't blow it all away. I mean, it takes the bark off. You still seeing this? Yeah. It takes the bark off like a champ and then goes right to work on the material under it. Yeah, the wind's blowing all of those little shavings right away. Now, this does not have the leverage to do great chopping, but if I was out and about, I could use this to make a decent notch for making some traps or crafting, wanting to get some P-cord or another stick wedged in there pretty good. It's a fine blade. I mean, I really like it. It does well. I was going to try to start just a little fire right here on the stump, but the wind is not cooperating, and I'm not chasing these little scraps of wood all over the yard. But we will test the ferro rod with it. But yeah, it's not too hard, even with its little size, to cut. I mean, you're not going to make super deep cuts all at once, but you can cut deep into the wood with it. Nice. Still very sharp. Did not lose any edge quality. Right there. Next, we've got our ferro rod. Again, this is kind of an upgrade accessory. Information will be either in text or the video description about, you know, what gets you this and everything, but you can see it's got a nice elastic with the scraper, with the rod. It's got an attachment to attach it to the sheath and everything, and it's a nice sized rod, about 1/4 inch or so. Yeah. So you've got the scraper itself, and the wind is actually blowing all the hardware around as well, so I'm going to put that in the box so we don't lose that. The rod comes with its own scraper, but it also has that notch built into the blade. Let's test the rod out with its scraper. Nice. Didn't even have to get through too much coating, and then, you know, we'll use that notch right there on the blade. Very nice. Very nice. Excellent rod, excellent scraper. Didn't have to fight through a lot of coating, and whether you're using the scraper or the notch, I mean, that notch worked great. Not a lot of discoloration on the blade either, a little bit. Cool. So, personal opinion, I think it's pretty cool. That's ironic to say out here while I'm freezing to death. But given everything that, all the accessories, everything that could come in this thing, you know, you've got the sheath with the Tek-Lok, it comes with the bit, you've got other bits, you've got a cool ferro rod as an option, you've got a nice scraper, you've got the option for, you know, your coated or your satin finished blade. You've got your 550 cord for, you know, your neck knife option. You've got all of the hardware parts that come with it for everything else. You've got the cloth that comes with it. I mean, you've got a lot of cool stuff that comes with one of these knives. But you get a lot when you buy into this, not just, you know, one little knife. it's a pretty cool deal. It's a pretty cool deal. I like it. I think it's not just your average neck knife, you know? You get a lot more for it. So, anxious to hear your thoughts. And if anybody would consider joining the Kickstarter, you know, team for this. Or how does this compare to other neck knives that you've seen? What do you think of the choice of steel? Very non-traditional choice of steel. So, anyway, guys, your thoughts. I'm excited to see how the launch goes. But while we're waiting for that, remember, as always, you guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.